you hear me singing?
Yeah.
I was hoping people were able to hear
I
me
think people
singing.
probably heard you singing too, because that goes live.
I don't think I'm allowed to do that when Sydney's around, so I figured he's at a football game. He's not going to know that I'm singing along to that banger of a song.
We get a
Welcome,
strongly worded
everybody.
email later in the week.
That's our cold open. Welcome, everybody, to the third last match of the season, the third last lineups. We're counting down. It's almost over. It is almost over, but tonight could feel like a long one. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Because that is LAFC. Atlanta's traveling all the way to the West Coast to play LAFC, one of the hottest teams out there. And look, I don't know what to expect from this game at all. Is it going? Can they keep it close? I don't think there's a chance of a win here, but man, if they could keep it close, it'd be nice, because the only thing that we can really live on here is that this team is supposed to be better defensively going into this last part of the season. We've seen it in a couple games where it's been better, and then we've seen some where you allow, was it 5 goals in the first half?
Yeah. Fun
It,
times.
it's really been a box of chocolates with this team. And here we go. This is one of 3, because this one's a tough one. Miami, they might lose some players on international break as well, but they obviously need as many points as they can get. And then you've got the possible wooden spoon or spork matchup on decision day. But tonight, it's all about LA and Atlanta. Probably the most watched Sunday night soccer game of the season.
Why do you say
And
that?
Sun brings the ratings to the yard.
That's fair. That's a good point, actually. I hadn't really thought of it, but yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like when they put this game on the calendar, they were expecting two of the best teams in the league with two, big stars and, a big moment close to decision day. It probably means a lot. And, you know, this is not exactly that anymore. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is just another one of those games that Atlanta United is playing out of the rest of its calendar. A game that, as you said, I don't really expect them to win. I don't think anyone expects them to win. I'm interested to see what they have the win probability at. What they put at the beginning of the game, and see where that win probability lies. I don't think it is anywhere over like 20% for Atlanta. But yeah, that's the thing about soccer. Anything can happen. I'm going to maintain that illusion for a sec so I don't, want to turn the TV off immediately after the kickoff. But yeah, that's what we have. I don't know, man. I really want that last game to really be the wooden spoon final, just so it means something. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I want that to matter, because right now they're not really playing for anything. And it's not like we're seeing anything different, right? From Atlanta United, we're seeing the same lineups, and we haven't seen the lineup that they have for this game yet, but I'm expecting it to be relatively the same. And this is an LAFC side that's on absolute fire. I talked about it on Across the Pitch. Uh, LAFC has this Son Bouanga partnership that has just absolutely had a tear ever since Son came in. They understand themselves very well, and this LAFC team is just overall better. So we'll see, but I'm still expecting this to be a fairly significant blowout.
well, you talked about international duty here, and what, some teams playing through it, some aren't. I mean, LA has 3 games left after this. So they've got a game on Wednesday against Toronto. Then they've got Austin. So hold on. So they're at home against Toronto, and then they're away against Austin, and then they get everybody back for decision day in Colorado, which is not always the easiest place to play. And yeah, these odds here is just absolutely insane to me. -315. That's crazy here. Absolutely crazy. I when you look at that, you're just like, "Oh boy, you're that is not, it seems low." I mean, that's probably the lowest you really can. A lot of times when you look at Miami matches, they're like minus 245-ish there. So, like, throwing money on it is just for that is crazy. I think if looking for a parlay for myself, I think it's Son and Bouanga both scoring and then LAFC winning, and I'm sure that'll get us to positive money here. But I don't know. I haven't even looked at it. I want to see lineups first, see where we're at. And I think we've got a special guest here. I think he's in a cave. I think he's actually in, or maybe it's just weird how it is, but it looks like it's like Tony Stark in the original Iron Man movie.
Oh my God. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hang on. Let me turn this sideways. Maybe. Oh crap. Oh yeah.
Blink
There we go.
twice if you're being held captive.
Are those goofy ears?
No, no. It's pouring down. Look, we're out here trying to grill, and it's pouring. Well, this is like the lightest the rain has been in like I don't know an hour. So yeah, I was supposed to be on here. I sent them a message for everybody watching. I was like, hey, I'm in a maelstrom, and autocorrect changed it to millstorm. But I haven't been on in almost 2 weeks. So
Well, it's good to know
You've
you're
missed a lot.
alive.
yeah, made it back from the cruise. We're in Orlando for a couple more days. Watched the twos blow it earlier, but shout out to the twos for at least playing better soccer and almost making it.
It builds character, I think, when you actually play some games towards the end of the season that mean something. We were just talking about that, and for some of those players, that eh, were continuously relied on to produce here, that does work out in the long run here for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then you have a new coach who I think should absolutely get the head coaching job going forward, right? Like you've got a bunch of guys that what hang on, that's I can't read stuff. Oh yeah. Um, but no, I think like with the twos specifically, you've got a guy that changed the team around in the second half of the season, second really the final third of the season. And it's a tough way to go out, but yeah, like you said, it builds character and I'm not mad at it. I mean, it sucks. It's tough. I can only imagine how tough it is in that locker room, but they need to keep their heads held high. And then you got the first team that honestly needs to take a page out of the twos book going into the rest of this season and the off season.
Yeah, the twos came
Absolutely.
incredibly close, and it's heartbreaking, man, that it comes down to the penalty shootout, and they start brilliantly, right? Like Ransom saves the first penalty, and then it just they just can't get it done. But I mean, the effort that they've put to kind of making this end of the season charge, and they were very very close to making history, guys, because this would have been the first time they make the playoffs. Um, but yeah, again, this is a second team that is younger. It consists of more academy players that are moving up the ranks, and that is really the plan of this organization, is to kind of uh, introduce more of these academy players and kind of move them up that homegrown pipeline. And the twos are that stop, and so you're probably going to see over the next few years, over the next few seasons, that second team getting stronger, and also probably the first team getting stronger in that regard. I know it probably doesn't look like it, given how this team has sold a promising homegrown and loaned one out over the summer, but they
Who
really.
scored today?
Oh yeah, Noah Cobb scored. Hi there. But yeah, they do really care about the academy kids, and that is something that is important for them. And we'll see what happens after this year. But that is what I've been told, that is an important project for them, is having one of the best academies in the league.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you need to sell them. You need to sell the players as soon as they're ready to go. They I joke about it, but it makes me sad. It really does because you want to see, for someone like Gray that spends all their time watching the twos and saying, "All right, they're about to get called up." I think it's extremely frustrating for someone like that to then see them move on so quickly. And a lot of baseball farm teams do the same thing. Like when you look at the Yankees or you look at the Dodgers out there, one of the things they do is they use their pipeline there usually to sell some of these younger players at the trade deadline to get a star at that time right at the end there. Well, in this league, you need to be able to have some wiggle room to make big moves or be able to get international players or international spots or bringing someone in, and that's where you really run into some problems here, and lineups are out. Let me see if I can bring it up on the screen here and see if I can do that technology. But while it is, Henry, you want to start going over it, and I'll bring up the graphic.
Yeah, so I was looking at, because MLS Soccer usually puts it up before the Atlanta United tweets it out, but Atlanta United just tweeted it out, and I am very confused.
Oh,
So, let's start with Jaden Hibbert in goal, right?
yeah.
Fairly basic. Back line, it is a back four with a center back pairing of Berrocal Gregerson, Hernandez right back, and Anea Mihai is the left back. All right. Hold that thought. Midfield pairing, Alzate Slish, that's kind of been established at this point. Your front three, right? Alexi at the 10, Miggy on the right wing, and Pedro Amador on the left wing. And then Jamal Tiare is your striker.
I'm gonna say this really quick because I'm getting rained on, and I'm not gonna have a phone here if I stay in this. How long ago was it that we mentioned like, hey, maybe we should try Pedro Almodovar as a winger? At some point, that was like months ago, right? I feel
Sure.
like it was. I don't know.
What
I
is
feel like
this?
we've played Tetris so much with this lineup, but here at the end of the day,
This is so
Um,
drunk.
yeah, this is true MLS After Dark. Y'all come join our watch along. We'll be drinking, and we'll be all drunk watching this together.
Play
What is
anyone
this?
but play anyone but Cayman Togashi challenge. What is
Right.
this, dude? They I feel like Ronnie Dyla did anything in his power to just not play like Cayman Togashi. He could play left wing. You can
Discord's
play him
going
in a straight
crazy.
partnership, but like Pedro Amador on the left wing is, I don't know. I feel like that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because his shot is so bad. Have y'all seen his shots? Like like there is a ball that rebounds off like a corner or whatever, like a second ball. He will blast it every time. He will blast it, and it will soar out of the stadium like 90% of the time. I have made this joke so many times that Pedro Amador will continue to try that shot, and it's never good. And now he's going to be expected to be one of those contributors in the attack. And Anea Mihai, he's played left back? What?
He has now.
First of all, let's start here. Anea Mihai is not a particularly fast fellow. He's a great defender, but he's not really got that top end speed to be the one that's like running up and down the flank on these games on defense. Like, he's gonna have to chase. I think it's Bouanga or something like that. I don't. Hold on. No, he won't have to chase Bouanga. He'll have to chase. Give me 1 second. It'll either be Son or Tillman.
He's going to be partially involved with Son.
Exactly. Sure. And Son is kind of a fast dude. So I really don't know what the plan is here. Like, I'm speechless.
We've been saying this since like May, guys. We have no idea what the plan is.
I will leave y'all with this because I'm getting dunked on right now by Florida weather. It's going to be entertaining. It'll at least be entertaining. Come join the watch.
What is entertainment to you?
Chaos.
There will be goals.
There will be goals. Yeah, I don't know how many of them are going to come from the good side, but there will be goals. All right. Peace. It's been fun. We'll see you all.
See you, Tyler.
Peace.
Maybe the goal is just to like for them to look at our roster and be like, what are they doing now?
Yeah, so I have a feeling that this actually doesn't play like this. I have a feeling that it's just a back three. And Pedro Amador is just a regular like left wing back, because other than that, like this does not make any sense. Yeah, I see it being like a 3-4-2-1 maybe, with Miggy and Moranchuk as like dueling tens, because I guess we haven't tried that this season, so might as well. But yeah, I don't know. If it really does play the way that Atlanta United has it on that graphic, I am seriously concerned.
Well, if you do something bold here, again, the question is how does the front office reward these things, or do they just go, "This guy's a madman. Why would he do this?" And then they lose 5-1. Like these are
Yeah,
the things you're just like, okay, or maybe they're just like, try anything, Ronnie. Just do whatever you can to get something, or to make us not look completely terrible.
it's a little too late for that.
Yeah, and like normally when you see teams travel, like it's because on our show Wednesday, it was definitely not made to be as big of a thing, but it's a thing. It's a thing of teams traveling, and sometimes it's sometimes like look at sports. So you're always going to have the example of it there and that not. But man, when you're a bad team traveling cross country and you're going on to face the hottest team, this just doesn't seem good. The only way I could see this is that LAFC is estimating Atlanta here, and they just go out and think that it's going to be easy to score 5, and it very well might be. I'm not saying it's not, but what I'm thinking is that maybe the only thing is that they maybe go in this match thinking it's going to be easier than what it would be, and they take it easy. But again, when you have standings and you're going to be losing players here, that's the momentum that they have. I guarantee you right now, they're telling them in that locker room, guys, we need to get these points. We are going to be shorthanded all this week. We need to rack up as many points as we can, because when you look at the standings right now for them, they are currently they're in the home spot, right? So they're in the top 4. So they're going to be able to have they're going to be able to host 2 out of those 3 matches. Now under that is Seattle. Now Seattle's got 32 games played. LAFC's got 30. So they've got some games in hand here. So essentially, you think if LAFC can win this game tonight, they're safe. They will pretty much guaranteed that they're going to host matches 1 and 3. It's very likely that, I mean, depending on what LAFC can do without, and how Minnesota does, it does kind of seem like they're locked into a match with Seattle already. Like it's unless they underperform or Minnesota completely underperforms and you can kick them out of that spot, it looks like you're leading into an LA Seattle match, and obviously you want to be able to host there. So they are definitely playing for something tonight. It's crazy to me they haven't released the lineup on the LAFC, like the graphic and everything like that yet, but they haven't released anything. Just
Okay.
a bunch of pictures of all their guys
Warming up.
coming in dressed all nice.
No. Well, MLS Soccer does confirm that Denis Bouanga and Son are both starting. There does seem to be a little bit of rotation from LAFC's side. Ryan Hollingshead is starting in place of Smolyakov. Andy Moran is on the bench. They have Timothy Tillman there instead. Eddie Segura is apparently playing in midfield, which is interesting. But yeah, they are kind of rotating, but not really. Look,
Some role players.
yeah, the long and short of it is Atlanta needs to try to defense their way out of this, right? They need to.
God, we're so screwed.
I know, but here's the thing: if Atlanta comes out and tries to be the team that's like aggressive, attacking, trying to maintain possession, they are going to get their butts kicked, because LAFC is an expert, absolutely really good, really well drilled at killing teams on the counterattack. And Atlanta is very, very, very vulnerable on the counterattack, as we saw last week. New England, both their goals were counterattack goals throughout the season. Atlanta has been scored on several times from these transition moments. And so what Atlanta needs to do for me is let LAFC have the ball, right? Just let them have the ball, let them come at you, let them make the mistakes, and then you capitalize off of that. Try to kind of turn their game plan against them in a sense. Because if you start holding the ball and you start trying to play out the back, the way that this team has tried a lot this season, and the way that it has given up several goals is by making terrible mistakes trying to do that. That's going to spell disaster for Atlanta United. So I think they need to just forget trying a possession model that clearly doesn't work, especially not going to work in this game. Let LAFC have the ball and try to take advantage of whatever opportunities you can get in those transition moments.
I don't know what to expect here. I don't know. And it's a late night game. We'll see if they can keep everybody awake. Give us a reason to stay awake for that second half. Obviously, that's important here, but let's see what happens and go from there. And you talk. I mean, you talk about the rotation. And it does make sense to them because they play Wednesday. They're going to be shorthanded Wednesday. They're going to be shorthanded Saturday. And who is the Wednesday? Oh, Toronto. I think it's Toronto.
Wednesday is Toronto, and then Saturday is Austin. Wednesday away, Saturday home.
Here he puts LAC will try to funnel ATL to one side or the other, and the fullbacks better pass well, otherwise there'll be a turnover all over the place. Whew.
That's my worry, man. I don't really trust these guys under pressure. That's spelled disaster for Atlanta this season. Is these guys being put under pressure and just not knowing how to respond? You have just a one or two kind of brain farts, and then that turns into a goal conceded. So
absolutely. Well, final thoughts. What was your prediction?
Like 7-0.
7-0. Okay.
Fine.
I think I said 3-1 or 4-1. I think I said 4-1.
I'll change. I'll say I think it's gonna be 5-0.
Let's see, because I was checking this out yesterday. Actually, I gotta it reminded me I gotta make the bet. I wonder what. So usually the odds are pretty crazy are usually pretty good for you if it's to win by 2. I'm very curious what the odds are because I think it was like minus or it was plus money to win by 2. Let's see if it's still plus money to win by 2. It is not anymore. It is minus 122 for them to win by 2 goals. That's not good. That means that a lot of money is going towards the LAFC side to win by 2.
I'd take the bet.
Oh, I would too. I'll throw something on it. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth to do that, and then let's go from there. But the only way I could see this getting real bad for Ronnie is if he gets 2 embarrassing losses here. Do you know if Messi is going to be leaving next week? Just random thought before I know
he is. Him and DePaul are both going.
Okay.
So I think that is smack dab in the middle of the international break. So they will be gone, but also Miggy will be gone. Ronald Hernandez will be gone. There's a few others. I don't know if all the call-ups have been announced yet, but those 2 I know for sure have been called up.
Who can Atlanta get that would have an impact like Son?
That Atlanta could get? I mean, I don't think Atlanta would sign that type of player because they've turned one down before. But I don't know, man. It would be a dream if they could get someone like James, really, because I just think he's still a great chance creator. He's obviously closer to retirement than anything. Kevin De Bruyne is a really good shout. I would absolutely take him here. Yeah, there's a lot of good options, but this club needs to Kubo Torres. This club just needs to go and try to do that. They certainly have the facilities to attract a star, a world icon. They have the money for sure. And there's no way you can't tell me that someone won't want to come to play in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. For me, the best stadium in the country, right? The most beautiful stadium in the country, and play in front of a very loyal fan base that clearly, sticks with this team through the bad times, good times. Uh, I think that should be enough of a pull factor for some type of global star for you to be able to convince them, right? So
They
I
want to
don't
play
know.
on turf. They want to play on turf too. I mean, that's one of the things is that they're gonna have to obviously play on turf a lot, which some players and some agents don't want their players playing on that. I mean, that's a concern there. And then Atlanta to pony the money up on it, and you look at what they did with Miguel Almiron, and you could just you can't tell me that they wouldn't, like with going against their current model to go sign Miggy here, and you paid him a ridiculous amount of money to do it. You why wouldn't you do it for someone else that is a bigger name and probably a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for?
Better.
Yes, better, absolutely. But that's the easiest way of saying it, better. Yeah, finding someone better here. If you looked at it, I was looking to see the alternate spread here. It's pretty funny because you go and you look to see the alternate spread -3, so them to win by 3 goals is plus 400, and and 4 is 900. I might throw $10 on each of those and see what happens. This could be a fun game for winning money, and that's the only way I'm gonna take it. But
Hey, that's a win in and of itself. So look at it that
yeah,
way.
absolutely. Well, we're not sure what we'll be doing with spaces later. We'll see how we're feeling at the end of the night. At least if we do it, it'll be a very short spaces. But we might be on after talking about the game. If not, come hang out with us tomorrow. I think we'll be doing a post game after MLS Monday. I think that's usually how it works, but we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. If Sydney survives the Buffalo game, if Tyler survives the rain, we'll be back hanging out tomorrow. But with that, have fun watching the game.
Or at least try to.
One thing about Sunday Night Soccer, I know there's no post-game music on, or there's no music to talk about this, but they really need a really good theme song for Sunday Night Soccer. Look, you got Carrie Underwood for Sunday Night Football. You need someone legit. I've been saying this since the minute they announced Sunday Night Soccer. Is it Bad Bunny?
I'd be down for some Bad Bunny.
Dude, he was great on SNL last night.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Hilarious. If you didn't watch any of it, go check it out, or just wait till the Super Bowl. Those are the things. That's all I got.
Yeah.
So with that, enjoy the game. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.